Well, the ranks of the Academic Staff Union of Universities have been divided as the federal government recently presented certificates of registration to two breakaway factions of the Academic Staff Union of Universities. The new unions, the National Association of Medical and Dental Academics and the Congress of Nigerian University Academics, which will exist alongside Asuu, have resolved to resume work. Meanwhile, the Court of Appeal will today deliver a ruling in an application by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Asuu, seeking permission to file an appeal against the Industrial Court order. Judiciary correspondent Celestina Area has details.
Dissatisfied with the lower court's order, Asuu, through its counsel Femi Falana, had filed an application at the Court of Appeal in Abuja seeking leave to file an appeal against the Industrial Court order. Mr. Falana claimed that it is the right of his client to file an appeal against the interlocutory injunction granted against his client. He cited several authorities to that effect that Asuu must first seek and obtain a leave from the Court of Appeal before filing the notice of appeal to ensure the validity of the appeal. The senior lawyer informed the three-member panel of the appellate court, presided by Justice Herman Baka, to reject the federal government's opposition to the application. He argued that it would amount to a dangerous decision for his client to be denied the right of appeal. He requested that the stay of execution of the ruling of the Industrial Court contained in the application be discountenanced. In vehement opposition to Asu's application, the federal government prayed to the appellate court to dismiss the entire application on grounds of incompetence and jurisdiction. Counsel to the federal government, James Igwe, drew the attention of the court to the fact that the Industrial Court's order made on 21st September has not been obeyed by the lecturers to date. He opposed the decision of Asuu to petition a stay of execution, adding that both parties have joined issues. Similarly, Mr. Igwe argued that proper parties were not before the court because parties were wrongfully and unlawfully listed as parties at the Industrial Court. Justice Herman Baka, after taking argument from the two parties, announced that the decision of the court will be delivered on the 7th of October.
The Honorable Justices took all the applications. Of course, we raised several other issues that his application was incompetent, he had approached the court with dirty hands, he had not evinced special circumstances and all that. So the Honorable Court listened to all counsel and adjourned till tomorrow for ruling. We can't say any more because these are live issues before the Honorable Court to decide. In the interest of this generation and generations to come, in the interest of investments in the educational sector, in the interest of intellectualism, in the interest of the image of this nation, that strike should be called off. That's all we are saying, whichever way, no matter who wins.
There's only one union for our members of academic staff in all Nigerian universities. You can't have two, you can't have three. And the Supreme Court has made the point very abundantly clear in the case of Asuu and Registrar of Union that your freedom of association is not absolute, and that your freedom of association has to be exercised in a way that industrial peace is promoted in Nigeria. And that is why once a union has been recognized to represent a particular cadre of workers, you cannot have two or three.
The decision of the court tomorrow will determine if Asuu can continue with its appeal or be immediately returned to the Industrial Court. Celestina Area, TVC News, Abuja.